This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5:30. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 5:30, we have breaking news in Marion County. Just moments ago, a jury decided it will be death row for a second time for a convicted murderer.
Michael Bargo was sentenced to death row for killing and dismembering his teen friend Seth Jackson 8 years ago. But because that jury's decision was not unanimous, the court was redoing the sentence. Channel 9's Mert Price just stepped out of the courtroom after about 5 hours of deliberations. And Mert, did Bargo have any reaction to being sentenced to death for a second time?
Yeah, I didn't see much of a reaction from the defendant where I was sitting in the courtroom. But before he walked in there, the judge made it clear that he wanted the defendant to be shackled, not handcuffed. And he brought in an extra presence of deputies. There were probably almost a dozen deputies in the room just before that verdict came in, just in case. Now, the jury deliberated for hours. And in order to send that defendant to death row, it had to be a unanimous decision. And when I walked out of the courtroom, the judge was in the process of asking each juror whether or not this was their decision, but they had already given their verdict to the judge, a verdict that sends Bargo to death row for the second time. Now, we have Ken Tyndall upstairs. He and his photojournalist are upstairs. They will be bringing you the very latest later tonight if they're able to get any reaction from any of the attorneys or any of the family members involved. We will continue to follow this story, and we'll bring you the very latest coming up later on. But for now, that Bargo has been sent back to death row. Live in Marion County, Mert Price, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The 2011 murder that Michael Bargo was convicted of was so vicious and just so gruesome that Lake County detectives said they never encountered anything like it before. Channel 9 anchor Marty Salt took an in-depth look at this crime that made national news.
It started out as a teenage breakup and ended in the death of a 15-year-old named Seth Jackson. 5 teens were charged with plotting and carrying out his murder. Michael Bargo was the accused mastermind. When Michael Bargo, 18 at the time, first appeared in court, it wasn't clear if his black eye and cuts were from a fight he had had with the victim or signs of the torturous murder he was accused of carrying out. Here's what happened. Prosecutors say the victim, Seth Jackson, and his former girlfriend, Amber Wright, were involved in a nasty breakup that included these profanity-filled posts on Facebook. Detectives say Bargo hatched a plan to lure Jackson to Wright's home. Another girl in the group, Charlie Ely, later testified against Bargo. Jackson did go to Amber Wright's house, where investigators say the 5 teens, led by Bargo, beat the boy, shot him to death, dismembered his body, burned the remains, and concealed them in paint cans. One by one, they were all convicted of the murder. Bargo was the last, and when he heard his sentence, he didn't flinch.
You, Michael Shane Bargo, are sentenced to death. The death penalty is not only justified, it is the only appropriate sentence based on the evidence and the law of the state of Florida.
That was Marty Salt reporting. The other 4 teens involved are now serving life sentences.
Wow, brought it all back home. All right, we have more breaking news, an update for you out of Castleberry, where an armed robbery suspect tried to get away from police and ended up crashing.
Right now, several law enforcement agencies are searching for that suspect. Channel 9 anchor George Estevez explains how this began in Orange County. George, what do you know?
Martha, Greg, this story is developing right now. So far, here's what we know. Winter Park police tell us this started about 2.5 hours ago near 1792 at Magnolia Avenue. That is in Maitland. They say the suspect robbed someone in a parking lot, then drove away. Sometime later, Winter Park police tried to pull the suspect over on Lakemont Avenue. Well, that's when police say the suspect fled north, eventually crashing this black pickup truck on Lake Howell Road in Castleberry. All right, so we spoke to someone who lives just down the street from the crash, and he said he heard it all.
It was extremely loud because the car apparently was going fairly fast.
All right, so after that crash, police say the suspect got out of the car and then ran off. And guess what? That is the last time Winter Park police said they actually saw him. So right now, they're still trying to find this armed robbery suspect, and they have help from Castleberry Police, Maitland Police, Seminole County deputies, and state troopers all looking for him. Our producer, Nicole, was actually just telling me something, that there were a couple people in the car, you were saying, Nicole? 2 people in the car that he crashed into were taken to the hospital. So again, late breaking information just coming into our newsroom. We're staying in touch with law enforcement, and we'll let you know as soon as they catch that suspect, because Greg, he hurt some people and he's still on the run right now.
Absolutely, George. You could see just the violent impact with that silver SUV by the black truck. More on that story coming up at 6. The Orange County Medical Examiner now working to identify the badly decomposed body found near a popular trail in Winter Park. Someone found the body Sunday off the Katy Way Trail between Forsyth Road and North Palmetto Avenue. Deputies spent several hours on scene walking through the wooded area looking for evidence. The medical examiner's office will also be doing an autopsy. We're asking Brevard County deputies if they've made any arrests in a shooting that left 1 man dead, another injured. The 2 were shot during a block party Sunday night on Main Street in Mims. Investigators are still working to figure out what led to the shooting. They're also asking people in the community to come forward with any information that may help them find the gunman.
Well, this was the mess left behind on I-95 in Brevard County. What a huge load of rocks. They just fell off the back of a dump truck. The truck was driving south near Fisk Boulevard around 8 this morning when it all happened. 2 people changing a tire on the side of the road were pelted with those rocks when the truck drove by and then kept on going.
The lift gate wasn't properly latched or became unlatched, unloaded a large amount of landscaping rocks here on the interstate, covered all 3 lanes and the emergency lane.
Troopers later caught up with a guy at the Walmart in Melbourne. He could be facing hefty fines for failing to secure his load.
Federal investigators say a possible terror attack inspired by ISIS was foiled before anyone was hurt or killed. Rondell Henry appeared in court for the first time today. Investigators say ISIS inspired him to steal a U-Haul so he could crash it into a crowd of people at the National Harbor in Maryland, an area usually filled with tourists and families. Henry told the feds once he started the attack, he, quote, wasn't going to stop.
This defendant appears to have formed a plot to harm large numbers of innocent people and taken concrete steps to execute that plot.
Henry will remain behind bars pending trial because he is considered a flight risk and a danger to the public.
8 suspects have been arrested in connection with the kidnapping of an American tourist in Uganda. Kimberly Endicott and her tour guide were kidnapped during a safari a week ago and held for a $500,000 ransom. They were freed Sunday. Tonight, there are still questions about if the ransom was paid, and if so, who paid it. Ugandan and American officials say no ransom was paid, but the company that organized Endicott's trip said it was. The IRS commissioner was also on Capitol Hill today answering questions about President Trump's tax returns. Last week, House Democrats asked for copies of his personal and business tax returns for the last 6 years. The IRS is part of the Treasury Department. Secretary Steven Mnuchin says he will follow the law when it comes to the returns and is reviewing that request.
In Washington, U.S. Attorney General William Barr faced questions today for the first time over the Mueller report. That hearing was supposed to be focused on the Justice Department's budget, but the topic shifted early on. Democrats pressed Mr. Barr about when he will release the special counsel's full report into alleged election meddling and possible collusion. Barr said he will release a redacted version of the full report within a week.
I do think it's important that the public have an opportunity to learn the results of the special counsel's work.
Barr will be on Capitol Hill tomorrow. He also said he will answer more questions from Congress next month after the full Mueller report has been released.
Several Latino advocacy groups want Spanish language ballots to be an option for Florida voters this year. They've asked a federal judge to require 32 counties to provide them by August 1st. It's the latest move in the legal battle that began last year. Back in September, a judge decided those counties needed to provide Spanish sample ballots, but did not require regular ballots or other assistance because there was not enough time before the November elections. A proposal that would give more than $300 million in hurricane relief to the Panhandle cleared its first hurdle in the State Senate committee today. That money would go toward a program to help counties, cities, and schools cover repair costs from Hurricane Michael. It also would create a task force for state and local disaster responses. The state has already spent about $1.6 billion on Hurricane Michael relief efforts.
3 men from Tampa Bay are alive after their boat sank near Naples early yesterday morning. And as you can see in the video playing behind me, the entire dramatic rescue was caught on camera. Around 1 in the morning, the boat started taking on water. Coast Guard said the 3 men on board did everything right. They grabbed life jackets, flares, unhooked the lifeboat, and called for help. Then they watched their boat sink.
You can watch it go the water take over the stern and then go into the cruise quarters, and once it got into the cruise quarters, it just kind of folded it. Watch all the lights go out, the whole boat folded on in on itself. Pretty wild to watch.
Today, at least one of the rescued men was able to meet the crew that saved his life. Haskins said he'll be back on the Gulf fishing again tomorrow despite this.
Some of Orlando's biggest construction projects are also classrooms at the new SunTrust Tower building going up in downtown Orlando. Many of the workers are also apprentices. For example, there are 667 electrical apprentices from Orange Technical College learning the trade at construction sites all across Orlando, like Disney, Universal, and of course along I-4. The goal for training them here is to keep the construction workforce local.
It has been our mission through Orange County Public Schools, Florida Electrical Apprentice Training, ACT program, to bring people back into the construction industry and realize that it is a viable way to earn a living.
Of all the construction jobs in the state right now, 15% are in Orlando. The local construction workforce has doubled in size to 85,000 workers since the end of the recession. Well, some U.S. lawmakers say social media websites need to better contain the hate speech spreading across their platforms.
Coming up, how a congressional hearing on the matter today turned into an example of the very problem they're trying to fix.
And a local mom wants to know why her son's laptop started sparking and smoking inside his dorm room. Coming up in just a few minutes, Action 9 checks out batteries that can explode and how you can avoid the risk.
The strongest thunderstorms have moved offshore, but now I'm tracking more rain developing over Lake and Sumter counties and how this impacts your evening rain outlook next.
K92.3. Orlando's #1 for new country. K92.3.
This week on Wheel.
It's America's game.
And nothing's more American than Nashville, a cold drink and country music.
I'm feeling kind of honky-tonky.
Yes, you're my honky-tonk woman.
Brought to you by Advent Health.
I'm A.J. Harris of Boniface Harris Chevrolet in Melbourne, Florida, where you could save up to $12,000 on Silverados, Traverse, and Equinox with financing as low as 0% for 72 months. BonifaceHarrisChevrolet.com, Melbourne, Florida. Thank you.
Ashley Home Store's Spring Home Mattress Event is going on now. For one final week, save up to $1,000 on select pillow top queen mattresses from Sealy, Beauty Rest, and our exclusive Ashley Sleep Collection. Your choice, just $6.99. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
If you're not happy with your Medicare Advantage plan, here's some excellent news. You have the freedom to switch to Care Plus right now. That's because Care Plus is once again rated 5 out of 5 stars for 2019 for quality and performance by Medicare. And that means you can sign up for Care Plus at any time. No waiting. With Care Plus, you get a 5-star plan that gives you more benefits than original Medicare, like prescription drug coverage, dental, vision, transportation, and an over-the-counter allowance. With 5 stars, you get a choice. So if you're looking for the assurance that comes with the highest rating from Medicare and almost 20 years of experience specializing in Medicare, look to the stars and get both. Pick up the phone and call Care Plus now. Discover all the advantages of a 5-star plan today. Just another plus from Care Plus.
It's a thing of beauty.
Sure is, Dad.
Just look how it cleans.
I see it, Dad.
It's climbing the wall.
I know, Dad.
Save on automatic pool cleaners and more. The Pinch a Penny 4-day spring sale. This weekend only.
They'll all be yours one day.
Every day, people all around Central Florida are making important life decisions. And for over 65 years, McCoy Federal Credit Union has been your community partner. We are a better kind of banking. It's people helping people. It's caring about our members and the communities in which we live. At McCoy, you're not just another number. You're a member owner. That means lower loan rates, no monthly service fees, and personalized attention. Experience a better kind of banking with McCoy Federal Credit Union. Sign up today.
I'm A.J. Harris. Why buy your next Chevrolet at Boniface Harris Chevrolet in Melbourne? Folks, it's the warranty forever, in writing, honored nationwide. BonifaceHarrisChevrolet.com. Thank you.
Great news from your friends at Ace.
Call us before Wednesday and receive $50 off any plumbing, heating, cooling, or electric service. Call ACE today because ACE solves it all.
Neighbors want to push this drug treatment center out of their neighborhood, saying it's brought crime to their doorstep.
Everything was going great, then this clinic moved in.
How county leaders plan to stop clinics like this from popping up near you. All new at 6 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
A local mom wants answers after her son's laptop started sparking and smoking just a year after buying it.
She claims its lithium battery could have started a dangerous college dorm fire. Action 9's Todd Ulrich found laptop fires are rare, but there have been many recalls, and you can reduce the risk, too.
Nicole Jordan kept the Dell laptop wrapped up on her patio, scared to have it inside ever since it seemed to explode inside her son's college dorm room.
When he opened his backpack, it was smoking and sparking.
Nicole bought her son the Dell XPS 9560 last year. She says her son poured water on it before there were flames. It melted the screen and metal case.
You're thinking, what if?
How can you not think, what if? Oh my God, had this happened 12 hours later when he's asleep, the results would have been catastrophic.
Online, Nicole found similar stories involving lithium-ion batteries and several laptop and cell phone manufacturers.
Time after time, individuals' batteries swelled and then burst and caught fire.
She contacted Dell and Action 9. Dell had recalled 4 million lithium batteries in 2006 as a fire hazard. And we checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission. 16 claims since 2015. Owners said their laptops were risky. One consumer claiming it started a house fire. Another heard popping sounds. Then it burst into flames.
It's very rare, but this battery can be a fire risk.
Yeah, I think so. Now, all those materials are high energy materials. Once it's fully charged, it's like a gun is fully loaded.
At UCF, Dr. Yang tests lithium-ion batteries for safety and performance. He says a defect can cause a failure, so can misuse, like frequently overcharging the battery.
Additional energy will make the electrode material inside the battery decompose. That may also generate flammable gas.
Dell did not respond to our questions, but last week it sent Nicole this new upgraded laptop to replace her son's graduation present.
If they knew this was an issue, just tell us.
Nicole doesn't think her son overcharged or damaged the battery. Dr. Yang says a swelling lithium battery is an early warning and needs to be replaced, and don't leave a laptop plugged in overnight. Todd Ulrich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
If you have a story idea that you want Todd to check out, head to askwftv.com or send an email to the address you see on the screen.
We have more breaking news this time in Orange County. It's been a busy day. Check this out. Eyewitness 9 live over 17th Street in South Apopka, where a car appears to have, right there to hit a house. You can see the red car up against the side of the home, and first responders are now assessing the situation. We don't know how this crash came to be, but firefighters did call it a medical emergency. We'll update you when we get more information.
Florida homeowners may soon be able to trim and remove trees in the months leading up to hurricane season without having to pull a permit. A new bill in the state Senate would nullify local regulations that protect trees on residential properties during the 3 months before hurricane season. Lawmakers say trees are among the biggest threats during the storms because, of course, they can crash into homes and knock down power lines.
Organizers are getting ready for the 3rd annual Florida Puerto Rican Parade and Festival. In less than 3 weeks, brightly colored floats, marching bands, and dancers will parade down Orange Avenue in downtown Orlando. Orlando Police Chief Rolando Rolón will be among some of those honored at the parade. The chief is from Puerto Rico and says he has seen the culture flourish here over the last 40 years.
We're one of the first few families in the Central Florida region, especially the Puerto Rican community, and we have seen it grow. But we are very, very blessed.
This year's theme is healthcare. Doctors, as well as other services, will be offered free of charge. You can watch live coverage of the Puerto Rican Parade right here on Channel 9, Saturday, April 27th from noon until 2. So you're going to need to provide some very nice weather for that parade.
It was perfect last year. I was there.
I will do my best. Yeah, last year it was a ton of fun, too. Yeah, so make sure you check it out. Good news right now, we actually have thunderstorms that have moved offshore. So a few hours ago, we had big storms, severe weather, hail, and damaging wind, and now we just have some spotty showers that will linger across central Florida for the next few hours. So you can see some of this rain in Sumter County. It's crossing into Lake County. The showers are going to be hit or miss. So either you're going to stay dry or you'll have a brief, quick shower. That could be heavy at times. This is a turnpike between, say, north of Groveland toward Okahumpka. A shower is actually crossing the turnpike right now, headed toward Yalaha, and about 16 minutes from Lane Park. Again, no severe threat with these, just some quickly passing showers toward Mabel, Terrytown, Webster, and Bay Lake. Now, these showers are about, 35 miles from Orlando, and it is possible that a few of these could hit some neighborhoods in Orlando this evening, maybe 1 to 2 hours from now, but nothing much to worry about as far as severe weather. That threat has moved off to the east. Now, these showers are sort of developing along a front, ahead of the front. The front will push through, and that will basically bring our rain chances down as we head over the next 18 hours. But the thunderstorms that we're developing, we're moving quickly with that upper-level flow. Our weak upper-level disturbance is right here. It will take a while to pass Florida, so we'll keep a slight chance for a lingering shower in tomorrow's forecast. Right now, we're still in the 80s in Orlando after a round of rain, 84 in Melbourne, and Cocoa Beach at 85. Hour by hour, Thornton Park. Notice how there's not high rain chances, but we keep the rain in the forecast, a slight chance for rain. There we go. Through the evening in Sanford, all the way through 10 p.m. And if you're in Melbourne, also a slight chance for rain that we'll continue watching. 67 with an isolated shower tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow, again, a slight chance for a stray shower, mostly cloudy and cooler. Here's your 5-day forecast. The weekend always in view. There it is, that rain chance low tomorrow. Then Thursday and Friday look great as we warm back up. So cooler tomorrow, warming back up. The weekend at 90, and then another chance of thunderstorms as we head toward Monday. Right now, 30%, and then Tuesday looks good to me of next week. Martha?
All new at 6. People living near a methadone clinic in Orange County are fed up with the crime they say moved in with it.
This clinic has disrupted our way of life.
The proposed changes that could prevent these clinics from moving close to you. Plus, state leaders are calling for an audit of the Florida Virtual School. We're asking what's next for the school that serves hundreds of thousands of Florida children. And the head of TSA at Orlando International Airport is under investigation. What he told lawmakers today about accusations of bullying and retaliation.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News, always live in your neighborhood. From Sanford to the Space Coast, Winter Garden, and Orlando.
With Central Florida's biggest team, we'll be there for you. No matter where stories unfold, you'll know more about what's happening across town and in your neighborhood.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News, always live at 4, 5, and 6. It's coverage you can count on.
Call or click